You might not think twice about popping yesterday's dinner into the microwave. It's a habit so simple, so everyday, that we hardly notice it. A quiet act of convenience. A leftover made warm again. But if you're over 60, this one small decision, what you choose to reheat and how, can quietly shape the way your body feels. It can affect your digestion, your balance, even your memory. And it's not just folklore or old wives' tales. It's backed by research from medical journals and food safety studies around the world. As we age, our body begins to whisper back in ways it never did before. Stomach discomfort after meals, fatigue that creeps in during the afternoon, a fogginess that makes it harder to focus. These may not seem connected to the food we reheat, but often they are, because not all food handles heat the same way. Some meals, when reheated, lose the very nutrients that once made them healing. Others transform into something that silently burdens the liver, the heart, or the joints. And for seniors whose systems already work a bit slower, whose immunity is more fragile, and whose digestion is more delicate, these transformations matter more than ever. You may be surprised to learn that the same plate of food, depending on how it's stored and reheated, can either support your well-being or slowly chip away at it. This video is about seeing the difference. It's about turning autopilot into awareness. Let me tell you a story. A woman named Helen, 72, used to save her sautéed vegetables for later. She lived alone, and the quiet of the house made her cook once and eat twice. One afternoon, she reheated a portion in the microwave and ate while flipping through the paper. Within an hour, she felt a heaviness in her chest and her stomach rumbled, not from hunger, but warning. Or Tom, 78, who loved leftover roasted potatoes. He'd reheat them with cheese and butter, just like he had for years. But lately he was feeling dizzy after lunch. A kind of fog he couldn't shake. His daughter finally asked him to stop microwaving old starchy meals, and within a week he said, "I don't feel so cloudy anymore." These aren't just stories. They're common patterns backed by journals like the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition and studies from the CDC, which show that seniors are more vulnerable to foodborne bacteria and heat-triggered toxins, especially when leftovers are handled casually. You see, aging is a slow, subtle shift. What your body once ignored, it now responds to. Not always loudly, but consistently. A bit more stiffness, a drop in focus, digestive unrest that you chalk up to just getting older, when in fact, the cause may be in your kitchen. Think of it like this. Your body is no longer just a machine, it's a garden. You must tend to it gently, feed it mindfully. Reheating food is like reheating a memory. It can be nourishing if handled with care, or distorted if rushed and careless. We believe in second chances, but not all leftovers deserve one. That's why this guide isn't just about what to avoid. It's about what to embrace. Because some reheated foods can bring comfort, clarity, even healing. Like a lentil casserole that deepens with flavor overnight. Like vegetable broth that unlocks its warmth on day 2. Like a bowl of baked millet that steadies the nerves when gently revived. This is your time, your life, and your health. Let's treat every meal like a moment of love. Let's learn together how to reheat with wisdom. So as you open your fridge tomorrow, take a moment. Not just to grab what's easy, but to ask yourself, will this meal lift me or leave me heavy? Reheating food isn't just about saving time. It's about honoring the body you live in, the one that has carried you through joy, grief, and seasons of change. It deserves more than guesswork. And that's what this video will give you. Not rules, but a map. We'll begin by walking through 3 everyday foods that, when reheated with intention, become your quiet allies. They support your memory, balance your energy, and comfort your body from the inside out. You won't find fear here. You'll find gentle knowledge. And as we go, you'll build habits you can trust, so that every warmed plate becomes a step toward strength, not a stumble toward sickness. Let's begin with what helps. Because often the path to better health isn't about removing, it's about reimagining. And today, we begin that shift. Together. Let's begin not with fear, but with clarity. Because some foods, while nourishing in their first form, turn quietly harmful the second time around. They don't scream. They don't leave a bitter aftertaste. They simply settle into the body like a weight. adding pressure where you need lightness. For seniors, these small burdens add up. Here are 4 foods that seem safe to reheat, but aren't, especially after 60. 1. Beets. From root to risk, beets are often called nature's blood builder. Their deep crimson color speaks of iron, folate, and antioxidants. Freshly steamed or roasted, they offer energy, help lower blood pressure, and support brain health. But when you reheat them, especially after storing them in plastic containers or leaving them exposed too long, they change. Beets are high in nitrates. That's not a bad thing, until heat enters the equation. When you reheat cooked beets, those healthy nitrates can convert into nitrites and, under certain conditions, into nitrosamines, compounds linked by research to digestive inflammation and even cancer risk. For older adults, whose gut barrier and liver detox functions are already slowed, this shift can mean bloating, foggy thinking, or unexplained discomfort after what seemed like a healthy snack. Instead, enjoy beets cold in salads with olive oil and goat cheese, or blend into a morning smoothie. Let them stay cool and grounding. 2. Chicken, a muscle that remembers. There's something comforting about leftover chicken. A roast from Sunday night, shredded into soup or tucked into sandwiches, but under its golden skin lies a surprising truth. Reheating chicken, especially white meat, alters its protein structure. The delicate chains that once built muscle and nourished tissue become tangled, less digestible. For a body over 60, this matters. With decreased stomach acid and slower enzymes, second-day chicken becomes a digestive challenge, leading to heaviness, gas, or intestinal cramps. Worse, if stored improperly, even a few hours at room temperature, chicken can harbor salmonella or campylobacter. Reheating in a microwave won't always kill them. Lydia, 74, once said, "I had a sandwich with reheated chicken breast. I was fine at first, but by evening I felt tight in my chest, a weird pressure. Not sick, but not well." She stopped reheating chicken. The symptom disappeared. Instead, use cooked chicken cold in quinoa salads or wraps, or prepare fresh portions, simple and safe. 3. Creamy sauces, the hidden inflammation. Cream feels gentle. It glides across the tongue, comforts a tired body, and warms the spirit. But its second life is not so kind. When reheated, especially in microwaves or over high heat, creamy sauces separate. Fats oxidize, proteins curdle. What was once soothing becomes a metabolic mess. These oxidized fats, paired with starches, pasta, potatoes, create compounds that strain the pancreas, spike blood sugar, and quietly feed chronic inflammation. You might blame the weather for aching joints or that bad night's sleep for foggy thoughts, but sometimes it's just yesterday's Alfredo, returned with a vengeance. Instead, create your own soft sauces from blended vegetables like zucchini, cauliflower, or sweet potato, enriched with olive oil, warm, smooth, and kind to your cells. 4. Reheated fish, the illusion of nourishment. Fish has long been praised as food for the heart and mind. Its omega-3s nourish the brain. Its lightness feels healing. But fish is delicate, sensitive. It was never meant to be reborn. When you reheat cooked fish, especially salmon or mackerel, its oils oxidize, proteins contract. That once soothing flavor turns metallic. The scent? Your first warning. What's more dangerous are the lipid peroxides that form, unstable molecules that increase oxidative stress and inflammation. Malcolm, 81, used to reheat baked fish throughout the week. His daughter, a dietitian, finally told him, "Dad, that's why you feel dizzy after lunch." He stopped. His energy returned. Instead, serve fish cold in salads with lemon, dill, and cucumber. Let it be fresh or gently chilled, never twice cooked. The bigger truth. Not all leftovers deserve a second chance, especially not in a body that's earned gentleness, not conflict. After 60, your digestion slows, your immune guard lowers, and your ability to bounce back from minor food stress is no longer automatic. And yet, with a little awareness, you don't have to sacrifice flavor, variety, or joy at the table. Sometimes choosing not to reheat is the most loving thing you can do for your body, your energy, your clarity. But now, let's leave behind the meals that no longer serve you and explore those that grow stronger the second time around. Yes, they exist, and they just might become your new best allies in the kitchen. Let's shift from warning to welcome. Because while some foods stumble in their second life, others rise. They don't just hold their value, they deepen it. Like an old friend whose stories grow richer over time, these meals offer more warmth, more healing, and more strength after resting and returning. For seniors who seek calm in digestion and steadiness in energy, these foods are allies, not just fuel, but medicine wrapped in memory. Let's explore 4 of them and the science and symbolism behind why they thrive when warmed again. 1. Lentil stew, the quiet builder of strength. There's something ancient about lentils. They've fed generations through famine and feasting, offering fiber, protein, and comfort in every humble spoonful. But what many don't realize is that lentils grow more digestible and more helpful after they've rested and been gently reheated. When you cook lentils, starches begin to break down. But as they cool, a transformation begins. Their resistant starches and soluble fibers stabilize. Then, when you reheat them, they become easier on the gut, supporting the microbiome, calming inflammation, and helping regulate blood sugar. For older adults, this is no small matter. Reheated lentil stew becomes a slow-burning fire of nourishment. It prevents sugar crashes, supports regularity, and offers plant-based protein that doesn't burden the kidneys or digestion like meat sometimes does. Nora, 76, makes a lentil and carrot soup every Sunday. It tastes better on Tuesday, she says. And she's right. The flavor and the benefits deepen with time. How to reheat. Use a stovetop and a splash of broth or water. Let it warm slowly. Add parsley or lemon zest just before serving. The stew that rested now rises. 2. Tomato-based dishes. The antioxidant awakens pasta sauce. Vegetable stew. Ratatouille. Tomatoes in their raw form are tart and bright. But when cooked, cooled, and warmed again, they release a powerful compound, lycopene. Lycopene is an antioxidant, especially helpful in protecting the heart, the skin, and the eyes. And research shows it becomes more bioavailable, more usable by your body after cooking and reheating. For seniors dealing with blood pressure, vision decline, or prostate inflammation, this is profound. Tomato-based meals, when gently revived, don't just satisfy hunger, they shield the cells. Maria, 80, freezes her homemade tomato sauce in glass jars. I reheat it with a little garlic and olive oil. It smells like my childhood. She smiles. And every bite delivers more than flavor. It offers restoration. Best practice: simmer tomato dishes over low heat. Avoid microwaving to preserve oil-based nutrients. Pair with whole grains to balance absorption. 3. Cooked sweet potatoes. The golden comfort of stability. Soft, golden, and naturally sweet potatoes offer more than comfort. They offer control. Especially after being cooled and gently reheated, their complex carbohydrates form resistant starch, helping to stabilize blood sugar support, gut bacteria. Provide slow-released energy through the day. For seniors managing fatigue, diabetes, or hunger swings, this is powerful. Unlike white potatoes, whose sugars spike quickly, reheated sweet potatoes give back gently. They warm your body without the metabolic crash. Henry, 82, bakes 4 at once and stores them in the fridge. Each morning, he steams one and adds cinnamon and flaxseed. It keeps my head clear and my stomach full. Reheating tip: steam or bake, gently with skin on. Avoid frying or high heat. They're not just a side dish, they're a grounding ritual. 4. Braised cabbage, the gentle shield of tradition. At first glance, cabbage is humble. It doesn't draw attention. It doesn't demand praise. But when braised, slowly simmered with carrots, onions, or apple, it becomes something almost sacred, a food of memory and of deep digestive peace. What many overlook is that reheated cabbage, especially red or green varieties, retains its flavonoids and anti-inflammatory properties even better than raw. The gentle heat breaks down fibrous walls, releasing quercetin, a compound that protects aging cells from oxidative damage and supports cardiovascular resilience. Liesel, 79, learned to make sweet braised cabbage from her grandmother. I warm a little each night, she says, and it feels like a hug from the past that still strengthens me today. Best reheating method: stovetop with a touch of water or broth. Avoid boiling. Add fennel or cumin for extra comfort. A second life done right. These foods don't just endure heat, they thrive in it. Because reheating, when done with awareness, can be an act of love. Not all meals deserve to return, but those that do, they offer not just nutrients, but reassurance. They tell your body, you are cared for. You are worth the extra time. You are not in decline. You are transforming. So the next time you reach for leftovers, pause. Ask not just, is this fast, but is this kind? And choose the second serving that gives you more than just fullness. It gives you balance, memory, calm. Because when you choose wisely, reheating isn't repetition. It's renewal. Not all danger comes with sharp teeth. Some risks are quiet, familiar, dressed as kindness. That's how poor food handling enters the life of a senior, not as recklessness, but routine. A leftover left too long, a plate warmed unevenly. These aren't sins. They're habits born from decades of good intentions. But after 60, intention must be joined by awareness. Because the body, this extraordinary aging instrument, needs your help to stay in tune. Let's talk about not just what you eat, but how you treat it. Because food can heal or harm depending on time, temperature, and touch. Rule 1, cool with care. The first 2 hours matter most. When your meal is done, the window opens. You have 2 hours to guide it to safety. After that, invisible forces stir, bacteria like Clostridium perfringens waiting for their moment. For seniors whose immune system defends more slowly, even mild contamination can trigger nausea, fever, or days of fatigue. Protect yourself. Cool food within 1 hour if your kitchen is warm. Use shallow containers. Don't stack hot meals. Let air circulate. Cooling isn't cleanup. It's part of the meal's life cycle. Finish strong. Rule 2, store like you mean it. Glass is not a luxury. It's a lifeline. Plastic warps. It breathes. It leaches, especially when reheated. For seniors, exposure to BPA and phthalates may affect hormones, blood pressure, and even memory. And yet, how many fridges still hold takeout tubs from last Thursday? Better. Store leftovers in glass or ceramic containers with sealed lids. Label them with name plus date. Place them on a fridge shelf, not the door, which warms each time it's opened. This isn't obsession, it's precision. The kind your heart, your brain, your bones deserve. Rule 3, reheat once and only once. Each cycle of cooling and heating is like crossing a bridge, and each crossing makes it shakier. Reheating food multiple times creates opportunities for bacterial growth, texture breakdown, and nutrient loss. Marcia, 81, used to reheat her soup pot every evening. One day her nurse said, "You're cooking it to death." Now she portions into jars, reheats only what she eats. And the soup? It thanks her by giving more, not less. Your guide. Only reheat the portion you'll eat. Never return heated food to the fridge. Never mix freshly cooked with older leftovers. Rule 4. Reheat deeply. Until warmth reaches the center, warm is not enough. For safety, leftovers must reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Celsius. Not just on the surface, but in the center. Especially true for stews, rice, or casseroles. If you don't have a thermometer, trust your senses. Is it steaming? Are the liquids bubbling? Did you stir halfway through? Microwaves are convenient, but often uneven. Stir, rotate, cover with a damp towel or microwave-safe lid. Give your food a fair chance to become whole again. Rule 5. Respect the freeze. It is both blessing and risk. The freezer is your ally, but only when used with care. Freezing slows time, but doesn't pause it forever. Old meals lose moisture, texture, and eventually safety. Remember, most meals keep 2 to 3 months in the freezer. Avoid freezing creamy sauces, raw eggs, or lettuce-based dishes. Label with dates. Rotate often. Your freezer is not a graveyard, it's a second chance. But even second chances have limits. Rule 6. Handle food like you handle yourself. With gentleness and precision. The spoon, the steam, the pause before you lift the lid. These are not small moments. They are gestures of self-respect. So use clean hands. Heat slowly, store mindfully. Reheat only what you need. Because every detail is a dialogue between you and your body. And after 60, that dialogue deserves to be clear, calm, and kind. Rule 7. Don't trust the nose alone. Freshness has no scent until it's gone. I smelled it. It seemed fine. How many times have we said that? But spoilage doesn't always shout. Bacteria don't always announce themselves with rot or foul odor. Especially Listeria monocytogenes, which thrives in cold environments like your refrigerator. Practice. Keep a sticky note or dry erase marker on your fridge. Write down when food was made and when it should be eaten. If it's older than 3 to 4 days, let it go. Your well-being is worth more than waste. Rule 8. Slow heat is kind heat, especially in tools made to protect you. Microwaves are quick, but they're not always trustworthy. For meals that need full, even warmth, like casseroles, rice, or soup, consider your slow cooker or oven. Eleanor, 83, puts her soup in the slow cooker at breakfast. By lunch, it's hot, safe, and soul-soothing. No stirring, no guessing. Just warmth, waiting. Tips. Use a double boiler or slow cooker for thick meals. Reheat bread-based dishes in the oven to keep texture. Cover food to retain moisture and prevent uneven cooking. Final thoughts. The hands that reheat. You've fed others all your life. Now it's time to feed yourself, not just with food, but with intention. Every lid you lift, every container you clean, every bite you warm with care, it's a declaration. I am still here. I am still worthy. I still matter. Reheating, when done with wisdom, is not an act of leftover living. It is an act of presence, of protection, of possibility. In the next part, we'll step into the life of Grace. She doesn't eat perfectly. She doesn't live like a textbook. But what she does do each day is remember that how she treats her food is how she treats herself. Let's spend a day in her kitchen and perhaps take something back into our own. Her name is Grace. She's 73 with silver-streaked hair, steady hands, and a small calendar on the fridge that holds more than reminders. It holds rhythm. She doesn't count calories. She counts clarity. Her energy isn't perfect, but it's enough to carry her through the day with purpose, with peace. This is her story, not of discipline, but of dignity. A quiet day in the life of someone who has learned to treat food like memory, and leftovers like sacred things. 7:30 a.m., the warmth that wakes the gut. Grace begins her day without hurry. She opens the fridge and lifts a small glass jar. Yesterday's oat groats and stewed apples, chilled overnight. She scoops a portion into her favorite blue bowl, adds a splash of almond milk, a pinch of turmeric, and sets it in the microwave. Not all the way. She stirs midway. She listens. When it steams, she stops. She tops it with ground flaxseed and a touch of cinnamon. No sugar. The apples are sweet enough, like the morning light. Why it matters. This gentle routine starts digestion slowly. The fiber calms her gut. The spices soothe her joints. She eats at the table. No screen. Just breathe. The cup that nourishes more than thirst. She fills her kettle and sets out a ceramic mug. Inside, dried fennel, chamomile, and a slice of ginger. While it steeps, she slices half a sweet potato, already roasted yesterday. She places it in a small pan with a spoon of water. Low heat. Covered. When the tea is ready, so is the potato. Warm, soft, scented with care. She mashes it, sprinkles sesame seeds, and smiles at the simplicity. Why it matters. Leftover sweet potatoes give her energy that doesn't spike or crash. The tea eases her digestion, sharpens her mind. The bowl of balance, Grace eats light, but not plain. She opens a glass dish of quinoa and reheated lentils with roasted zucchini and carrots. She adds a squeeze of lemon, a drizzle of flax oil, a fresh pinch of parsley from the window box. The microwave hums for 90 seconds. She stirs halfway, then tests the heat, not just with fingers, but with care. Why it matters. This meal is color, texture, balance. It supports her gut flora, her joints, and her energy. And because she reheated only one portion, nothing returns to the fridge tired and overcooked. 4 p.m. The moment between hours. At 4, when the sun shifts slightly and the house goes quiet, she warms half a bowl of barley pudding she made the night before. Just barley, a touch of oat milk, and grated pear. She reheats it slowly over the stove. The microwave would be faster, but she likes the sound of the spoon against enamel. She sits by the window, a book in her lap, the pudding in her hand. Why it matters. Barley is kind to her blood sugar. Pear eases digestion. And this snack, warm and gentle, helps her feel steady through the evening hours. 6:30 p.m. The meal that remembers dinner is quiet. A pot of red cabbage stew from 2 days ago. She places a portion in a small enamel pot, adds a spoonful of broth, and warms it gently, stirring, pausing, inhaling the way her mother used to. She toasts a slice of rye bread and cuts a slice of goat cheese. No dessert tonight. But after the meal, a single square of dark chocolate and warm water with lemon. Why it matters. Reheated cabbage releases quercetin, supporting Grace's heart and blood vessels. The rye bread keeps her digestion moving. The warmth, physical and emotional, settles everything else. 10:15 p.m., the warmth that asks for nothing. Before bed, Grace runs warm water over her hands. She opens the fridge and checks tomorrow's breakfast. A small note reads, "Oats plus fig, stir halfway." She smiles, not at the food, but at the care. At the thought she gave to her tomorrow self. She isn't afraid of the fridge. It doesn't overwhelm her. It doesn't confuse her. It contains things made with love, cooled with care, labeled with clarity. And that perhaps is the greatest gift aging can give us. Not more, but less. Not rush, but reverence. And that perhaps is the greatest gift aging can give us. Not more, but less. Not rush, but reverence. She turns off the light in the kitchen, walks slowly to her room, and lets the day go, knowing she fed it well. Grace's life is not perfect, but it is protected. By small decisions repeated with intention. No extremes. No noise. Just quiet meals that don't fight back. That build her. That remember her. Tomorrow she'll do it again. Not because she must, but because she can. So here we are. You've walked with grace. You've remembered your own routines. You've learned that food, like aging, can be made sacred again. Not by force, but by intention. Let's take everything we've discovered and place it where it belongs. Not in theory, but in your kitchen. Here is your gentle reminder, a simple list, a daily ritual, a map for strength. Your senior reheating checklist with gentle guidance. Cool cooked food within 1 hour. Let your food rest, but not too long. After 1 hour, bacteria like Clostridium and Listeria begin to grow. Tip: portion hot meals into shallow containers to speed cooling. Leave lids off until steam subsides. Store in glass or ceramic containers. Glass doesn't leach chemicals or absorb odors. It honors your food the way it deserves. Tip: keep 4 to 6 reusable glass containers in rotation, each labeled with masking tape and a marker. Never reheat more than once. Each reheating weakens the structure of the food and strengthens bacteria. Tip: heat only what you'll eat. Keep the rest sealed tight and untouched. Stir halfway through reheating, especially in microwaves where hot spots can fool you. Tip: stews and grains benefit most. Stir gently and let heat spread evenly. Always reheat until steaming 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Celsius, ensures safety. If you don't use a thermometer, look for bubbling, rising steam, and even heat throughout. Tip: if it's warm on top and cold below, it's not ready. Freeze meals no longer than 2 to 3 months. The freezer is not forever. After 12 weeks, texture, nutrients, and flavor begin to fade. Tip: mark freezer containers with bold dates, rotate often, respect the meal's journey. Avoid risky reheats. Chicken, eggs, white rice, beets, creamy sauces, and fish, these often change structure or breed bacteria. Tip: ask yourself, is this dish better fresh? If yes, don't reheat it. Favor second-day heroes. Tomatoes for lycopene. Lentils for digestion. Sweet potatoes for steady energy. Braised cabbage for heart health. Tip: these dishes deepen with time. Love them twice. Use ovens and slow cookers when possible. They provide deep, consistent heat that respects the food's complexity. Tip: microwaves are fine, but never your only tool. Don't trust your nose. Trust time. Some spoiled foods smell fine. Some dangerous bacteria have no scent. Tip: if it's been 4+ days, compost it. Don't consume it. One last morning with Grace. Before we go, imagine one last morning in Grace's kitchen. The light comes through softly. Her daughter visits, and they warm up the lentil stew together. Grace points to the jar with the date, the portion size, the note. Heat gently. Stir halfway. Her daughter smiles, then tears up. "I never noticed how much love you put into your food," she says. Grace answers, "It's not the food. It's the time I give to it, and the time it gives back to me." She takes the checklist from the fridge, folds it, hands it over. "Put this on your fridge. Not because you're old, but because you're worth it." Final words. There's no trophy for reheating food correctly. No award, no applause. But there is comfort. There is energy. There is independence. And that, after 60, is everything. So print the checklist, post it, share it, live it. And every time you open the fridge, remember, you deserve more than quick and hot. You deserve safe, nourishing, kind. Until next time, keep choosing wisely. We'll be here, always.